If you were no longer affected by the judgment of others and you stopped judging yourself, would you make different choices? Why make choices in your life based on judgments instead of on your awareness of what would create the life and living you desire? Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices Radio Show, Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm.
All right, I hope you people are ready for a rockin' show, for a crazy show. We're going to turn it up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so thrilled that you are here with us tonight. And wherever you're listening live in the replay, I just hope you're ready for a rockin' good time. Because you know what? I'm ready to bring it. So today is Wednesday, January the 13th, 2016. And tonight, the topic is, are you ready? I'm so insane, I make others look normal. Hell yeah, that's exactly what I said. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. I'm telling you, I'm in the mood for it. So this is your host, Christine McIver, and you are listening to A2Zen.fm. And if you have never come back into the back room, the behind the curtain on A2Zen.fm, which is our chat room, please come play with us one night. You will have more fun dancing and laughing, and you get to type, you get to interact with the hosts, the producers, who are just as crazy as I am, and have so much fun. I'm telling you, it's a nice distraction from all of the other crazy shit in the world. So you just come on over to Zen.fm. On the bar at the top, in the red bar, you will see chat room. Put in a fun name, a crazy name, your real name, no point of view, and come play with us. So we would love to have you join us in there. And, each and every single person that is joining the radio shows, whether in the chat room or comments or messages later, you really do help to co-create these shows and have a lot of fun. We've been on the air live all day, and there's been a lot of amazing shows. And there is 3 days a week live shows, so I would love for you to come and play with me tonight. So I am a possibilities coach, if you don't know that already. And I have been working with individuals and organizations for many, many years now. And what I do is I work to co-create with individuals and organizations what it is that they desire to have and be more of in the world. We use all of the energies of the universe to see what it is that we can manipulate into this reality to have more joy, to have more fun, to have more of every single thing that we desire. And when you are working with me, you are going to get a straight shooter, someone who loves to laugh, someone who has not a toolbox, a tool shed of tools. And you're going to have someone that is going to be present and show up with you each and every time. I love working with individuals because you know what? When I see a spark light up in them, it lights something up in me. That's just how I roll. So my programs do assist each and every person to bringing you more possibilities. If you would like to learn more about that, if you would like to have a chat with me, the first 5 minutes are always free. So you can connect with me at inspiredchoices.ca, or you can send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Inspired Choices Inc. You can connect with me on Twitter, Inspired Choices Inc. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Instagram, Possibilities Christine. You can connect with me all over. Just connect with me. I would love to be a contribution in your life. So, tonight, yes, it's true. Thank you, Keisha. Christine does get around. It's true. It's not a secret anymore, and I'm okay with that. So tonight, I'm so insane, I make others look normal. What if you are insane and it's the new normal? Would you be willing to be your crazy, insane self and drop the judgment of normal as if that is even fun? What is normal anyways? A way of being that doesn't make others uncomfortable. I'm not positive how this show is going to go, but I do know that we're going to unlock some new things. So right away, the very first thing that came to mind is, as I was writing that up, was like, what if that is the new normal? What if being crazy is the new normal? And then I thought, okay, well, what is crazy? So I looked up the definition of etymology, dictionary definition of crazy. So in the 1970s, crazy was considered diseased or sickly, or full of cracks or flaws, and also of unsound mind or behaving as so. There's also the jazz slang sense of it is cool or exciting. And then to drive someone crazy is a phrase, as well as crazy like a fox, which came from the translation in 1877. I can't pronounce where this came from, but there was a translation that literally translated to his horse is crazy. So that goes in a couple of different ways, like as if there's a negative or a positive to the crazy. So how much have you projected crazy is at yourself? And how much have you either aligned and agreed or resisted and reacted to when somebody says you're being crazy? And everything that brings up, times a godzillion, can we destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So if this is your first time hearing my show or any show here on A2Zen.fm, you may not know what that is. And that is actually the clearing statement from Access Consciousness, the body work that I work with and many of our radio show hosts work with. And basically what it is it's just a really crazy statement, a crazy statement that changes the energy or unlocks or just wipes the slate clean of any charge you might have around something. So this whole word crazy, when I was growing up, when someone would say you're acting crazy, there was a very hard charge on there that there was something I was doing wrong, that it was bad, and then I needed to get the fucking line, okay? Whether it was a nun, a priest, a teacher, a parent, a sibling, a friend. And that stayed with me for many, many years of my life. I did not want to be made a fool. I did not want people to judge me. I wanted to be accepted. And if I was being crazy, that meant it was wrong. That meant that I was not going to be accepted and loved and be able to be part of the group of people that people wanted to be around, even to have someone that would love me if I was too crazy. Well, as my life went on and things went forward, and I started to really feel myself, slipping away, as it were, from the true being who I was, I got sadder and sadder and sadder because I felt like I really literally had to squish my voice or not act in a certain way. And it just constantly felt like this huge contraction in my reality. And, whether it was an idea or my laugh, if you've heard me on here, if you've heard me anywhere, I have a big laugh. And I have had people judge my laugh. I have had people say some pretty unkind things when I laugh. And, it stuck me because I got really upset about it. I had a point of view about what they said, and I really resisted or just wanted to tell them to go pound salt when they said that, which ended up not being a very big kindness to me. You see, I actually made their point of view about me, their opinion about me, mean more to me than it meant to anyone else in the world. Their points of view of me was only just a point of view. But because I didn't have the self-confidence, because I didn't have the self-worth, and I wasn't valuing myself, I wasn't taught how to value myself no matter what anyone else thought. I was taught to be a good girl and to listen and to pay attention and to try to achieve really, really well so I could be happy. But as I was trying to do all of that in my life, I wasn't happy. And in fact, I got sadder and sadder and sadder. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun being me. And there was many, many times that I didn't understand how I was ever going to be happy when I was trying to always follow all these damn rules in this reality. And when I always had to be, concerned about what that person was going to think or what that person was going to think, I felt like I was always like half holding my breath and half like this panic of breath trying to come out of me because I was so afraid. Honest to God, I don't think I've ever told anybody this. Honestly, Mike, do I ever get naked on the radio? Too bad we don't have video. Boom, boom. I don't think I've ever said this, that I actually, for a lot of my life, was so worried that I was actually going to open my mouth and something was going to jump out and I was going to make myself just look like the biggest idiot walking. And I was afraid that that was going to happen, and then everybody was going to know that I was, in fact, stupid and wrong. Now, isn't that fucking crazy? Oh, my God. I walked around. I wonder how many other people out there right now, whether they're listening to the show or not, just let's tap into how many people out there right now are seriously in that very same space. They are literally holding on. They're shaking. Like my body is literally shaking. I can feel the energy. I can perceive the energy of it. Where they are literally shaking and worrying about what they're going to say tomorrow at work, or what they're going to say to their lover, or what they're going to say to their parent, or what they're going to say to a friend is going to be considered crazy. That they are rehashing their words. Did you ever do that? Did you ever go over all of things that you ever said and then like reevaluate it? Like, oh my God, what did they think when I said that? I couldn't see their face. Or, oh my gosh, I wonder what people are thinking about me. Oh my gosh, I really hope that they still like me. Yeah, there's somebody in the chat room that says all the time. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And how many of us in this world are constantly afraid. We're constantly holding on, really, really, really wishing to be accepted. Well, I want you to know something. That is the most unkind thing you can do to you, my friends. I discovered that years later, that was totally the most unkind thing I ever did to myself, was holding me back. Because I chose to come here. Me, Christine Marie McIver. There has never been anyone like me. There never will be anyone like me. And I am still discovering me. But here's what I know. That there is nothing wrong with me at all. There never has been anything wrong with me. Oftentimes what was happening was I was being so free that other people that were judging me, they themselves were also contracting and watching everything that they were doing and being, that because I wasn't, they couldn't receive it, and that's why they judged me. And that's why they said what they said, because they couldn't receive themselves being everything they truly be. They couldn't receive me being everything I be. You know, it is the brilliant, the creative, the crazy people in the world who are changing the world, who are stepping out, who are being more so that more can show up here. You know, David Bowie just passed away this week, and that man, extremely creative, and people judged the hell out of him when he started to step out and be all that he could be. And today, there are people in every country in the world crying because that man is no longer in body on this planet. Do you see how, where we stand and what other people think about us? Do you see how it changes people's perspectives? But what if you were no longer going to be at the effect of what anyone else's perspective of you was, except what your perspective of you is? Sorry, my tongue's just jumping around because I'm trying to think of all these things and my tongue is jumping. When we are willing to show up and even have a tongue twister on your own professional radio show and say, it doesn't matter, it's okay, I still like me, I still go to bed with me every night, I still get up with me every morning, right? If we were willing to be that in the world no matter what, I wonder what brilliance would start to come out of us because we were no longer contracted. Okay, we're going to go to our first break of the night. I really want to get into this even deeper, and I would love to have any of your questions or comments in the chat room. I'd love for somebody to call in and ask me a crazy question, and no question is crazy except the one you don't ask. So we are going to get right back to this after our commercial. You are listening to Inspired Choices on A2Zen.fm, and tonight talking about I'm so crazy, I make others look normal. Stay tuned.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
Are you a bold, remarkable, unmistakable being that has felt like you're not quite fully engaged and firing on all cylinders in your life, your business, your relationships? Are you ready to join a big movement to assist you in choosing your bodacious invitation to greatness? Choosing BIG is a 3-part event taking place January 14th, 21st, and 28th of 2016. To find out all the details and to choose your best year yet, visit the Facebook event page at choosingb.i.g, on the community page at b.i.g.livingnow, or email b.i.g.livingnow@gmail.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is A2Zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, everyone. How are you doing? We're talking about crazy, and is crazy the new normal? What do you know? How many people out there can look back 10, 20, 30 years and then look forward to where we are today and go, you know what, that would have been considered crazy 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So what if the new normal, or what we consider crazy today, will be the new normal tomorrow, right? I can remember my grandmother used to sit in a chair with her back to the TV because she said she used to call it the idiot box. It was too beyond for her. It was too crazy for her to imagine it. So what if what we're being and doing today, what people are calling crazy, is actually going to be considered brilliant, is actually going to be considered a masterpiece? Would you be willing to be called crazy to become the masterpiece you truly be? and everything that doesn't allow you to show up and be that no matter what any person damn well believes or thinks, can we please now destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Here's what I know, guys. And I can only tell you from my perspective what's going on. For me, I laugh more than I ever have since I'm showing up fully and completely as me. I have more true, intimate conversations and friendships with girlfriends, with male friends, with lovers, with family, with my kids than I have ever had in my life just in the last few years since I just said to hell with it. I don't care. I can no longer, it's too big of a cost to care what anybody else thinks about my crazy, because I'm dying inside not being fully me. And I don't choose that for me anymore. And I hope, my friends, that you're not choosing that for you anymore. And if you've never chosen that for you and you want to choose it right now, just raise your hand and say, hell yes, I'm choosing that. And you know what? You might stumble and fall, and you might have every person around you laugh at you. You might have every person around you go, what the hell is she doing? And it won't matter. It will not matter what happened yesterday. There'll be a new story again. Somebody else will do something. I can tell you, though, that when I have chosen to step out and to, step out and start my own business during the economy when it was really bad, and people would say to me, you're crazy doing that. You're going to fail. Really? Well, FYI, I haven't, and I'm soaring. Thank you for the information and the judgment, but you were wrong, and I knew better for me than you did. When people said to me, you're crazy to sell your house and move and rent, why would you do that? I was dying in that house. I felt like I was confined in four walls because I wasn't living. I wasn't stepping out. And since I sold that house and I've moved, my son has moved to Europe. My daughter is doing amazing. I've been traveling the world. I have been stepping up more in my life because I was willing and ready to step out more. So I guess they were wrong yet again. When people said to me, you're crazy to go on the radio, that's too much money, what are you getting back from it? I had a knowing. I had a knowing that doing radio was an absolute frigging must. And I reached down and I found a way. I followed my knowing because I had that spark that jumped up inside of me and went, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never been trained. I don't know how to do radio. Holy shit, yeah, I can talk, but what makes me somebody that can talk on the radio? But I knew beyond that I had to do it. I had to choose it, and I was going to be absolutely fine. I couldn't see where it was going to go, but I had a knowing. I had that gut reaction that it was like a hell yes. People were saying, you're going to start producing radio? Why would you do that? That has nothing to do with your life coaching or this or that. That's crazy. Guess what? Listen, bitches, I own the station now. Step back. I know what's real and true for me. Okay, so I really want you all to step in. When did you have a knowing? When did you know that when everybody else was going to go crazy? When did you know that it was true for you? Can you just reach in and grab one of those? I just want you to hold on to that for just a second. Okay, we've got some comments in the chat room. Patty says, sometimes when I say something and people look at me that way and or tell me I'm off my rocker, I say, yes, I'm weird and unusual, but it's okay. I like me like that. Exactly, Patty. Exactly. Good for you. And Keisha says, I'll just go put that in the bank now. The crazy piece, is that what you mean, Keisha? Sorry, I'm not following it exactly. So we have a question. So is it our knowing that we largely misidentify and misapply as crazy? Well, I'm going to ask you, what do you know, Keisha? When we misidentify and misapply crazy, have we actually been taught that anything that is different, that's never shown up before, is actually what people label as crazy because they cannot perceive it. Right? So if you have a brilliant idea, if you have a brilliant creation, an invention, a class, and because it's not in somebody else's awareness, they call it crazy because they can't see it all, is that you pick up the energy of it, right? You misapply and misidentify the knowing as crazy because aren't you picking up everybody else's energy of what they will respond to? When you have a knowing, it's that instant, like, yes. And then what you do is you start to perceive everybody else's energy about it. You start to pick up your awareness, right? So you start to go into, and your brain does this, your brain wants to protect you. So your brain keeps you in this not too low, not too high space of protection, right? It's what's been programmed into the brain. Oh, no, you don't want to, step out there too far. You don't want to step out there too far. You want to, keep it safe, keep it easy, just, don't make any waves, right? Because that's what we were taught to protect ourselves. The people that taught us this, they really did have our backs and they cared about us, and they believed what they were teaching us was the right thing to teach us, right? Because they didn't want to see us hurt. How many people have stepped out and they've stepped into something and it didn't come to fruition the way that they had projected it would come to fruition? And there wasn't this massive outcome of what they had expected. And because of that, they went into the judgment and they went into the wrongness of them, that then when they wanted to do it again, somebody reminded them, oh, Bill, hey, wait a minute, Bill. Remember the last time you did that? Remember what happened? Yeah, no, Bill, don't do that again. No, Bill, we don't want to see you cry. But how many people are crying inside right now because they're not stepping out, because they're not being all they can be? Keisha says, it seems to stem from the whole, quote, you are going out on your own is crazy thing. And you following your knowing, breaking from the crowd, not buying into the popular point of view. Exactly. So how much are you willing to be all of you, even if you are being called crazy? And how much do you have inside of you that is begging to come out, that is trying to slip out of your mouth like it was for me when I was little? How much is your body wanting to jump up and dance? How much are you wanting to just say something that is going to change somebody's world and show your vulnerability and show your heart? How much is that inside of you that you're willing to now be, even if they call you crazy? I wish I'd had a list. I should have looked up online a list of people that have been called crazy in their lives, that today we see them as brilliant and amazing and a contribution to this world, that if they had not come before and as they had not risked being called crazy, that our world would be different. I'm grateful for all of those people out there who have chosen to step out and be crazy. I'm really, really grateful. And I can tell you today, those inventors, those people who are coming up with something that has never been here before, ways to change things that are broken, ways to take care of people, the inventions, those people are now being sought after. Those are the people that we listen to. Those are the people that are being paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. Those are the people that we are now grateful for. Would you be willing to be crazy? Would you be willing to drop all of your conclusions and your expectations and your judgments and your projections about what anybody else thinks, so that whatever is birthing inside of your beautiful being and body can finally step out, can finally be heard and be seen? Would you be willing for every single solitary person to reject you? Would you be willing to have your own back? In the chat room, abso-fucking-lutely. I love it. You know what? I had no idea where this show is going. I'm so grateful that I follow my knowing and I allow the awareness to come, and I allow my radio show to actually speak to me. Yep, I'm crazy. I talk to radio shows. I could teach you, but it'll cost you money. Okay, we're going to go for a break, for our second break of the night. And when we get back, we're going to step into more of this. And I would love to hear what might still be sticking for you about the whole quote-unquote crazy. And maybe share some of your quote-unquote crazy ideas that are now absolutely brilliant in your world. You are listening to Inspired Choices on A2Zen.fm with myself, Christine McIver, and we are talking about being batshit crazy. Come on back. We'll be here.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
Are you a bold, remarkable, unmistakable being that has felt like you're not quite fully engaged and firing on all cylinders in your life, your business, your relationships? Are you ready to join a big movement to assist you in choosing your bodacious invitation to greatness? Choosing BIG is a 3-part event taking place January 14th, 21st, and 28th of 2016. To find out all the details and to choose your best year yet, visit the Facebook event page at choosingb.i.g, on the community page at b.i.g.livingnow, or email b.i.g.livingnow@gmail.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is A2Zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome forward into this crazy show tonight. I'm so really grateful that this show showed up for me, because this is really having me actually look at where I'm still contracting and restricting myself from fully showing up. I'll tell you one of my crazy things. So before we went for break, I really wanted to learn more about where you're still holding yourself back in the crazy. And before I get to that, we had a really great comment from Keisha. She said, I'm wondering if that scares some of us more than the twisted point of views, that people would actually show up when we become willing to be our crazy. I think that it does probably scare a lot of us. I know that when I first started to really step out on the, I'm going to say, public forum platforms, that as I would step out and it would expand, then I would nearly go into a greater contraction than before I stepped out, because I actually kind of flipped myself out that I actually did it, and then I went, oh no, this can't be real, and kind of pulled back. And I think a lot of us do that without even knowing we're doing it. Or, as I remember one time, Dr. Dane here, or Danielle Carter had shared with me something that Dr. Dane here had said to her when she had actually achieved some crazy thing she had set for herself that she wanted to achieve. She actually started to destroy anything beyond what she wanted to achieve, because she had achieved this crazy thing. And so she thought, wow, that's it. I achieved it, and it kind of stopped. So I think we either stop ourselves, we either blow it up, or we start to contract because we freak ourselves out. Wow, there's a really great comment from Rhonda. She talks about her son who said, Mom, I don't want to be too famous because then everybody will be in my personal business. Yeah, no kidding, jaw drop. That is absolutely something I've heard many, many people say and do. It really is a belief system that people are going to know all of your business. Now, I share my personal stories because that's how I be. That's where I speak from. That doesn't mean that every radio show host does it this way, and it doesn't mean that every coach does it this way. But this is what works for me. This is what really speaks to me, and for me personally, I find that people can identify then, and it's a touch point that they can then move beyond or look at from their lives. And it doesn't mean that everybody's like that. I'm okay with sharing parts of my personal life with the world because I know that that is being a contribution to the world, and it works for me. Now, there's many parts of my life that are personal, and they will remain as such. And that's what I'm comfortable with. But this society has kind of, I would say, seduced people into showing everything in the world so that we will become more famous or more infamous, maybe richer, whatever you want to think of. And by doing that, I'm sorry, I just got distracted. I just got a message that someone, and this is phenomenal, that someone has just chosen an amazing creation that actually launches tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But it's a total surprise, and how does it get any better? Woohoo! So you know what? We've been doing something pretty crazy, and we've been stepping out where people are looking at us, shaking our heads, and it hasn't been actualizing, and we. And when I say we, in my cohort in creation, the amazing, potent, the absolute most kind, tender woman in my life, Rhonda Burns, and I have created BIG, which is the Bodacious Invitation to Greatness. And we have 4 people that are on our promotion team that have been choosing it and being amazing in the contribution. And you know what? Lots of people would have said, nobody's choosing it, let's give it up, let's stop it. And just tonight, Rhonda and I said, okay, let's ask, what do we desire, and what does our creation desire? And our creation said, just keep going. And boom. When you're willing to follow your knowing, when you're willing to ask the question, and you're willing to seriously follow what comes up without a point of view, you can completely trust that the universe has your back. And when you trust your own knowing, and trust me, I did not trust my own knowing for a very, very long time. There are parts of that I would, but there was lots of parts I didn't. And I have some amazing friends who kicked my butt, and they kept saying, you know, you don't get to say you don't know anymore. And so as I continued to do that, and I really started to expand that knowing, I was able to trust myself and follow my awareness. And the universe always has my back. If I will have my back too, imagine the amazingness that can come. And yeah, Rhonda, most of us are never taught to trust ourselves. Exactly. We're taught to trust somebody else. We're taught to, because if they're older or they're a person in authority, that we should trust them. Well, really? You should trust no one. Don't trust anyone. Trust yourself. Trust your knowing. Will this person be a contribution to me? Will this person be kind to me? Am I safe here with this person? Ask those questions. And it's not a carte blanche, you check on it once and for the next 75 years, it's always a yes. No, you keep checking on it and follow the niggles, follow what seems off, okay? This is really important. Okay, so the chat room's blowing up, and I'm like, I have a really hard time reading while I talk, which is very, very funny, being I'm the owner of this. But hey, I just want you to know you can be really shitty at something, people can call you crazy, and you can still succeed. So how does it get any better than that? So Keisha says, an aha or an awareness. Our knowing does not follow or look like anything logical by linear standards. No. And your knowing, Keisha, thank you for that. Your knowing, Keisha, may and probably does show up different than my knowing. Everyone's knowing can be different. You can be perceiving something very, very different. And when you are really willing to trust yourself, you can start to unlock so much in your life and in your world. So would you be willing to start trusting you even more, even if somebody calls you crazy? I have done some things without thinking about it. And like, for instance, I every winter I will run outside and I'll make snow angels, and I've taken pictures. And I remember doing that with my daughter one time, and she said, "Mom, you're crazy. You're not going to put that up on Facebook." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. It was fun." And people laughed, and it was fun for me. It was fun for my body. It was fun to laugh. It was fun to play in the snow. It served me, and it was wonderful. And it's something that I love to do every year. I don't have a lot of ground around me right now to be able to do that. But tomorrow, when I go to a friend's who has a big, wide open area, I will be making a snow angel because there's lots of snow there, and I will be out there. Yeah, my pie video, exactly, Keisha. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was going to make some pastry, and I made some buttered tarts, and I just, on a whim, I just grabbed my camera and I videotaped it. And I've had over 700 hits on those videos, and it's not even on YouTube. It's just in Facebook. It was crazy, and it was fun. And you know what? It contributed to my life. No, it didn't do this and it equaled this much money, or do this and it equaled this much fame and fortune. Do this and you'll get more people to listen to your radio show or anything. No, the joy contributed to my life and my being. And here's a big thing, guys. Money, prosperity follows joy. So would you be willing to choose what gives you joy so that you can create this crazy-ass life you damn well chose and you knew that it could be? What the heck does dough pie have to do with being a coach? Some might wonder. You're still waiting for my pie, by the way. Oh, that's hilarious. You know what? What does making a pie? What does making a video about making a pie or making pastry have to do with being a coach? The one thing that I've always said, and I especially said to my kids, is I don't care what you do. Just do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. When you're a child, or you have a child, or you watch a child and they're playing, and they're on a trampoline, or they're on the ground, or they're rolling and they're jumping and they're sliding and they're laughing and they're playing, and how much joy does that give you to see them be fully embodied in what they're doing? It's amazing. And then when we get to a certain age, we go, now you shouldn't act like that. Act your age. Do you know what? Do you know what I do when I go to a park? I slide down the slide. I jump on the swing. We used to have these things that you stood on, and people stood on, and one person would run on the ground and swing you around on this big, I don't know what it was called, this big circular thing. And I do that. I'll get on those ducks, or those things that, you stand, the little kids put their feet on and they swing back and forth on. I'll get on them. I ride every single thing at the park. Do you know why? Because I can. It's fun for me. It gives me joy. What if you were actually doing things that gave you joy, and it looked crazy, but it fed you, it served you, it nurtured you, it lit up your life? Do you think that you would have more show up in your life? Thank you, Roundouts. Thank you, Patty. Do you think you would have more come into your life if you were willing to step into doing what served you, what really filled you up, even if it was considered crazy? What if you come up with a crazy book idea, or a crazy song, or you're an architect and you come up with a crazy design, or you're a clothing designer, or you're somebody who you're knitting and you come up with a new stitch? Like, what if You being your crazy self is the ingredient required to create what everyone is waiting for. Keisha says, you're talking crazy now, Christine. You're damn straight I am. Okay, we are going to go for our last break. And when we come back, I'm going to have a challenge for you. And I hope you're ready to step up. So you are listening to Inspired Choices Radio on A2Zen.fm. And when we come back, we're going to continue with this crazy show. Stay tuned.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on the past or what others think. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire in this moment? By tuning into Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to do just that. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to create the life and living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show.
Are you a bold, remarkable, unmistakable being that has felt like you're not quite fully engaged and firing on all cylinders in your life, your business, your relationships? Are you ready to join a big movement to assist you in choosing your bodacious invitation to greatness? Choosing BIG is a 3-part event taking place January 14th, 21st, and 28th of 2016. To find out all the details and to choose your best year yet, visit the Facebook event page at choosingb.i.g, on the community page at b.i.g.livingnow, or email b.i.g.livingnow@gmail.com.
This is Inspired Choices Radio Show with Possibilities Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255, TALK, or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype name is A2Zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, my friends, thank you so much for sticking around tonight. We are talking about crazy. And you know what? I do make other people look normal. And normal to me is friggin' boring. I don't want to get in line. I don't want to be like the same as everybody else. I want to be me. I want to be me. I don't know that song really well, but anyways, I don't want to look normal. I am insane, and I do make other people look normal, and normal is boring. Normal doesn't shake things up. Normal doesn't invite people into being more them. Normal doesn't actually create what this world is really desiring for us to create. Normal doesn't leave a legacy. Normal doesn't leave people wishing that they could have more and be more too. Normal doesn't have your kids go, you know what, you rock. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. And all of that is absolutely a huge contribution in my world when somebody appreciates the not normal I truly be. So here's my challenge to each and every one of you. Are you ready? I would like you to start keeping a list of the crazy ass ideas that come up for you. And when you write it down and you kind of have a little old energy twinge, go, oh, goodness, I don't know. Can you say out loud, now that is crazy? You get that? Could one of you ladies please type that in the chat room? I'd be so grateful. So you write it down, and when you get the twinge, you go, out loud, you go, now that is crazy. All right? And when you step into the energy of now that is crazy, I want you to align with the energy of the brilliant people in the world who have created crazy art and crazy song and crazy books and crazy dances and crazy, brilliant, yummy, delicious everything. I want you to align. I want you to match their energy with your crazy. And I want you to seriously see what that begins to create in your life. Oh, I'm just going to, a year ago, past November, I made the choice and within 12 hours was on the plane to fly to Paris. Now that was crazy. That choice, people, changed my life because that stepped me up into way more friggin' choosing. It was crazy and it was phenomenal. I'm telling you, when I posted that on social media, that rocked people's worlds. They began to choose more because I was choosing more of that crazy choice. So I really would love to invite you into that. Play with it. What if crazy is the new brilliance that, if you would allow it to come, would rock the world you've been desiring to ride? And everything that doesn't allow that, let's destroy it and create it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pocket pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So I want to just take a couple of minutes and tell you about this huge creation called BIG. So BIG is something that started to be niggling and birthing about a year and a half ago. And Rhonda Burns and myself are the co-creators of this. And we knew that there was something wanting to come and we didn't know what it was. And it's been percolating and percolating and percolating. And tomorrow it is actually being birthed. I don't know whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. I don't know whether it's going to be pink or blue, but it's being birthed tomorrow. And BIG is your bodacious invitation to greatness. And to be bodacious is to be bold, to stand out, to be all of you. And it is tomorrow we are starting the first phase, which is a 3-call teleseries, and it is going to be really looking at what's holding you back from stepping out into more of what you desire. What is holding you back from being bold, from being your crazy self, from creating crazy, from having a crazy amount of money, from having a crazy amount of joy, from having a crazy amount of laughter? What is holding you back from your greatness that you desire and know is available? One of the things that really had me want to choose and create this is that I have had such a strong voice inside of me telling me to step out more and more and more. And if I actually died with this energy inside of me, I would die so sad. And this has been such an invitation to me, even before we've quote unquote launched it. This has been such an invitation to me to step out even more and more. And so this is a 3-part teleseries that starts tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be both video and audio, and you can choose which way you would like to participate. And it is going to be where we are going to invite you into more of you. It's a sacred space where we are going to hold you gently, and we are going to absolutely kick your butt into being more, because we know you can be it. What if you don't know what you desire? Guess what? We got tools for that too. Thank you for the question, Eleanor. We know just the fact that you are even here on all of these radio shows, Eleanor, tells me you desire more, even if you don't know what it looks like. And would you be willing to play with that? And we also have a money-back guarantee that if after the first call tomorrow you don't get what you want, you can get your money back. Okay, it begins tomorrow. We'd love to hear from you. Check us out on Facebook or bodaciousInvitationToGreatness.com. Thank you all so much for being here. I am grateful. And please be more of your crazy self. The world is waiting for you. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing night and see you at BIG tomorrow.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on A2Zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by making the choices that bring you all that you desire.